Hi Internet! In this video we review the Commanders expansion for Kill Team.
This is kind of a strange expansion. It came out at a time early on in Kill Team, before the Elites expansion, and was seemingly dismissed outright by the majority of the community. We have some thoughts as why this happened, and we'll get into that in a moment.
The community is embracing this expansion in a big way now, motivated by packets like Commanders International and the inclusion of Commanders formats in the tournament packet for SoCal Open 2021. I guess better late than never for Commanders.
So we just mentioned that the Commanders expansion was kind of ignored for some time. There are a few reasons for that. One is the timing of when it came out. Hot on the tails of the core game release, we fairly quickly got the Commanders expansion.
Now at this time, Kill Team was a game largely positioned to bring new players into tabletop wargaming. As the game was gaining momentum, a rules expansion drops, which expanded the game. Now, this hits a lot of players the wrong way, and they feel that they had just bought, built, and painted their 100-point team, and now all of a sudden they're being told to buy and paint more in order to keep playing.
Additionally, as the competitive scene was growing at this time as well, Games Workshop all but said that Commanders should not be played in the competitive scene, as they did not balance it.
Both these things seem to lead to Commanders falling into this side role where some people played one-off games just for fun, but no one really took it too seriously.
The reality of it is, if Commanders came out after Elites, we really think it wouldn't have been looked over. It seems that if it went core books, to Elites, to Commanders, it would have been a more natural way to grow your favorite team. Also, a lot easier to get to 200 points when you throw those elite models into the mix.
Now let's fast forward from 2018 all the way up to 2020 and the release of the Commanders International packet, which happened around the same time as Kill Team Stream writing his packet for LVO 2021, which unfortunately was cancelled. Also, around the same time, many content creators were expressing concern for moving past the Commanders expansion too hastily.
The writers of the Commander International packet did a great deal of testing with this expansion. Their packet had some unique primary objective scoring rules which they state improves on Commanders quite a bit. However, even without those changes, they claim that Commanders is actually very well balanced.
Seems that despite Games Workshop saying the rules were not written with balance in mind, they may have accidentally done just that. Who knows? But we're excited for this new enthusiasm. It's almost like getting a brand new expansion. With all this said, let's get right back into the thick of it.
Much like the Elites expansion, what Commanders does is add a new unit type to the game. Unlike Elites though, it's not just units that you can add to your kill team list as you would by following the rules in the core manual. It's actually a new slot in that kill team list.
The best way to understand where the commander unit fits in is thinking of it as an additional specialist. Each kill team still needs a leader, and up to 3 specialists, such as heavy, combat, veteran, zealot, etc., the ones you're used to, and any number of non-specialist units filling out the rest of the list.
The commander is an additional specialist, in a sense, separate from the leader and the 3 aforementioned specialists, however. The commander unit will count towards your total number of models mustered.
So, in a commander's game of Kill Team, you will choose 1 commander, 1 leader, up to 3 specialists, and a number of non-specialists.
Additionally, the points cap for Commanders games is 200 points, which makes a lot of sense when you see the cost of some of these commanders.
Most factions have a selection of commanders to choose from. You can find these commander options in the Commander's book, obviously, but also in the Rogue Trader expansion, Elites expansion, Blackstone Fortress White Dwarf releases, the 2019 Kill Team Annual, as well as the newly released Pariah Nexus expansion.
There are a handful of factions that are overlooked and do not have any commander options, such as Demons and Sisters of Silence to name a couple. Many tournaments for commanders work around this and grant them commanders from related factions, and are typically listed in the respective tournament packets or in their FAQs.
We can find one example in the Commanders International packet. The Chaos Demons faction can take many of the Heretic faction commanders, ranging from a Zangor Shaman to a Master of Possession, as well as many others listed in their errata section.
So now that you know what a commander is, how do you kit one out to join your kill team? Well, it's not that much different than bringing any other specialist, really.
Each commander has a list of specialisms they can take, which are found on pages 20 to 29 in the Commander's expansion book, as well as a new specialism, Legendary Hunter, which is found on page 13 of the Elites expansion.
Each specialism comes baked in with an ability and a tactic that can be used at level 1, as you can see here with a very popular commander specialism, Strategist.
A level 1 Strategist commander not only generates an additional command point per battle round, so 3 total instead of 2 if your leader is also still around, but can also use the level 1 tactic decoys, shown here, allowing you to redeploy some of your models at the start of the first battle round.
It's worth noting that if you choose the Psyker specialism, be sure to not only reference the relevant page for the specialism in the commander's book, but also page 17 in the same book, which has a list of additional psychic abilities they can choose from in exchange for Psybolt or any of their other psychic powers.
The Commander's International Packet restricts all commanders to level 1, following the FAQ entry for the commander's book seen here, which indicates the intent for only level 1 commanders to be used for matched play. The Commanders tournaments to be run using the Kill Team Stream Kill Team Championship packet does allow for leveled commanders, so keep that in mind if you plan to play that packet.
Leveling a commander increases their point cost, and is listed in the point section of the faction where their data card resides. So even if you are permitted to level up a commander by the packet, just be aware that it comes at a cost, pun intended.
However, you can further customize a level 1 commander even if you aren't permitted to level them up. On page 16 of the Commander's expansion book, you will find the section titled Commander Traits. You can upgrade your commander with up to 3 of these traits, paying the respective points cost for each trait selected on top of the commander's regular cost.
The first 4 listed are available to all levels of commanders, so would be legal in the Commander's International Packet. However, Generalist and Master Specialist are only available to a level 4 commander.
In addition, there are 3 universal tactics able to be used with a commander.
First is Duel of Honor. For 1 CP, in the fight phase, you can select an enemy commander that your commander can legally fight. You are allowed to reroll failed hit and wound rolls against this target until the end of the phase.
Next is Heroic Intervention. For 1 CP, at the end of the movement phase, so long as your commander is within 3 inches of an enemy model and did not advance, fall back, retreat, or attempt to charge that phase, they can make a pile-in move. This is a great way to try and avoid Overwatch, but still lock someone up in combat in the movement phase.
And finally is Look Out, Sir! For 1 CP, if your commander fails a saving throw and has a minion within 2 inches of them, you can shift that damage to the minion if you roll a 2-up on a d6. It's like a weaker version of Savior Protocols, but it's not without its value.
In addition to these universal commander tactics, each commander has tactics tied to their specialty, like we reviewed before, as well as unique tactics tied to the specific model. A lot of these are aura effects, such as the one listed here for the Tech Priest Enginseer, called Repair Artisan. For 1 CP, spent in the movement phase, any friendly model within 3 inches of your commander essentially gets a 6-up Feel No Pain, ignoring a wound for each roll of a 6.
And that's about it. On a command roster, you can list any number of commanders and varying specialisms for them, including the relevant levels and upgrades. But each iteration takes up a separate slot on the roster.
So feel free to get creative. But with a 200-point cap, those command rosters start to get a bit cozy. So make sure if you're going to a commander's tournament to be deliberate with your roster. You won't have as much wiggle room as you did before.
Leave us a comment if you have any questions. See you in the next one.